my name is Marcelo Boffelli. I was born in Nicaragua, lived there for 10 years. I then came to Miami, studied at Miami-Dade College, then went to FIU. I'm double majoring in political science and international relations. I've always had an interest in politics. That's been around my family for so long. So I just, got intrigued by it and decided to come to DC and intern at the Hill. And with CHLI, I'm also doing a private sector at UPS.
Exactly what projects you're working on and tackling at UPS.
Yeah, so we're doing a series of webinars. These webinars, they help small to medium-sized businesses. We're also helping out women-owned businesses. So these webinars are going to teach, how if they can still import from China, if cargo is still moving, how they can get loans from the SBA. SBA is the Small Business Administration. How government can help and what they can do from home to keep their businesses afloat and keep their employees on board. Nobody wants to be jobless. So that's the main goal that we have, how we can help them out.
What specifically do you do in like the day-to-day operations in terms of the webinars and trying to collect all this information?
So the webinars are pretty much new. It's a new thing. For the past 2 weeks, I've been, the day-to-day agenda. It's have a meeting every day at 9 a.m, talk about what we're gonna do, what we're doing, what projects we're working on. Lately, the past 2 weeks, I've been covering a lot of calls, taking a lot of notes. Right now, we just started with the webinars, so that so we gather information from, trusted websites. And from that information, we build all the resources available that small businesses, medium businesses, women-owned businesses have to keep their businesses afloat. That's a new thing. So it's kind of difficult to tell you exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, of course, I understand. It's new, so you're kind of falling into what.
Yeah, I got the news like yesterday.
Can you tell me a bit about your internship program and how it works?
Yeah, so Congressional Hispanic Leadership Institute, CHLI for short, they place you in a public sector and a private sector. So for public sector, it's working at the Hill. You work either for the House or the Senate. Luckily, I got chosen to be in the House because I like working in the House. And then the last 2 months of the semester, you work at a private sector. And luckily, I was chosen by UPS to work for them. So they pay for your flight, they pay for your housing. It's a nice group of people. They're a good, institute. And I would recommend anyone who would like to join to apply.
How selective was the process in applying?
Okay, I would say it's a little bit difficult, but if you're really, if you put your mind to it, you'll get it. You have to write, essays. You have to have recommendations. You have to show that you're qualified, And if you want to work in government, you want to work in public affairs, anything related to Congress, you have to be qualified. So, I wouldn't say it was hard, but they only pick 4 or 5 people per semester, and I don't know how many people apply, but I'm pretty sure let's say 50 to 100 people.
Alrighty, and can you talk a bit about what you worked on while you were at the Hill?
So in the Hill, just regular intern stuff, as far as answering phones, taking notes. But the interesting things that I did in the Hill was co-sponsoring memos. So what you do is that you gather information about a bill that the office is interested in co-sponsoring. So you gather all the information, you call the other offices, you work with other offices all together, and then so me, I have the power to tell the staffer, I recommend this bill because, it would help the constituents in this way or that way. Or I don't recommend this bill because, let's say, no Republican, no Democrat has voted for it, we're against it, this isn't that. Um, that was pretty interesting. Also giving tours. Tours, it sounds kind of basic, but it's actually pretty interesting. It's cool to know that you're the person that that you're guiding the constituents. They have no clue where you're going, what you're going to tell them, et cetera, et cetera. So it's nice to tell them, oh, this is a myth, that's a fact, that has been there X amount of years. It's pretty cool.
That does sound cool. I have been taken on a tour actually by one of the CHLIs too. Was there anything that stood out to you in terms of research that you were doing, or any one priority area that you felt strongly about whilst you were doing this, like, co-sponsoring?
So while I was co-sponsoring, I found one of the co-sponsorships that struck me the most was for medicine. I don't remember what bill, but anytime I had to co-sponsor anything about medicine, it was intriguing because you find that a lot of people are, against it, more or less. It's difficult to tackle that, but it's also intriguing.
Alrighty, and my last question, so I don't take up any more of your time, is how has the pandemic affected your work in terms of teleworking? Are you still in DC? Did you go back to Miami? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm still in DC. We don't know when the pandemic is gonna end. So my internship ends in May. Originally, I was supposed to go visit 46 offices, congressional offices. We were supposed to, because Maria Luisa, she's the VP for UPS Public Affairs. She's also a lobbyist. So we were supposed to visit all 46 offices, go lobby and introduce ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. I was also supposed to work in a pilot project in Central America. And all that came to a stop with coronavirus. So right now, it's since we're not focusing on that, we can't visit offices. We have to focus on how to help small and medium-sized businesses, stay alive throughout the pandemic. So it definitely affected that sense. I was looking forward to visiting the 46 offices. It's still interesting teleworking. It's not the same because you're not in that office environment. You're at home, you can get easily distracted, but it's still a good experience. You get to see the reaction that UPS takes, the approach that UPS takes regarding the pandemic. This is a historical event, and probably not a lot of people are going to experience this like I am, and I'm lucky for that.
Of course. Well, thank you so much.